Joining us. Welcome to the Do It Yourself Mask and Chat session, where we're going to talk about different ways for making your own mask. I'm doing this with Krista McDonald. Krista. and
Hi.
and Justin, right? Sorry, Justin. So the one of the things we wanted to do with this is just because it's one of the things that's being highlighted now that we should wear masks, but we also wanted it to be a session where we could freely talk about some of the things that we're observing maybe in the media or that's on our minds surrounding the coronavirus. So let's go ahead and get started. So to tell you a bit more about us, Krista, she waved to us earlier, right? Hey, Krista. And she is, you want to introduce yourself, Krista? Muted.
Here.
Yeah.
Carla. Hey. All right. So we have some chefs in the background. I'm sorry for the pounding.
No, that's perfect.
But Justin and I are faculty and residents at South Campus, and Carla is our RA. And I teach communication, and
I teach psychology.
And I'm at DACC, and Justin is at
And I miss you.
Okay. And I'm Lisanne Grant, and I am the faculty in residence for first year experience. I work a lot with Priscilla and Angel, who are here. Hi. I am an assistant professor at Diana Community College, and I also teach communication like Krista. Our offices are beside each other, so I annoy her a lot. Did you just say I annoyed you a lot? Right? No.
No, I just said that our offices used to be next to each other, but now they're far away.
They're far, yes, that's true. Well, not too far. We're on the same campus, right?
Yeah.
So to start off, we just want to highlight some important reasons why we're doing this session in terms of why it's important to make and wear a mask. And it's because, say, the coronavirus, it's a new virus, and our immune systems haven't encountered it as yet. It's different from the flu in the sense that we have vaccines for the flu and we have encountered certain strains of it, right? Our body has some experience with it. And the coronavirus, it tends to spread rapidly. And as a result, a mask might be helpful in helping you protect yourself from contracting the illness, right? And then it's also considered the socially responsible thing to do in the sense that because a lot of the times when someone has the virus, sometimes they don't know, right? And they go around and they're passing it along without having any idea they're doing it. It's helpful to wear a mask so that you don't pass it along to others if you're one of those silent carriers, to say. And then currently it's a recommendation by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And a lot of this was highlighted by Parker Pope in the New York Times, in a New York Times article. All right, so first, we're going to have a video, right, by Dr. Jerome Adams. And he'll show us how to make a mask from, it's a no-sew mask, right? This one is the one that I would do because I have no sewing skills at all. Like I wouldn't even try to like pick up a scissors or try to stitch anything on a sewing machine. Not my, it wouldn't end well, right? All right, so let's see what he has to say about a no-sew mask.
Your own face covering in a few easy steps with items you can find around the house, like an old scarf, a bandana, or a hand towel, or you can make a face covering out of an old t-shirt. Fold it to the middle from the bottom, fold it to the middle from the top, fold it again to the middle from the bottom, and again from the top, and then 2 rubber bands, one on one side and one on the other side. Then you fold either side to the middle and you have yourself cloth face covering. It's that easy.
Isn't that neat? Right? Like it's so, if you have like a bandana or what else, like a bandana, a scarf, as you mentioned, you can do it simply. The other thing I saw someone used to make it, it wasn't rubber bands, it was those hair ties where you put hair ties over it and then do it. So I thought that was pretty neat too, to be able to do that. All right, and Krista, you have more experience or knowledge with the t-shirt, using a t-shirt to make a face mask.
Sure. So this is another no-sew way of making a mask, and it's a little bit more complicated. You do have a chance to fold, like it does require cutting and some safety pins and scissors, but again, doesn't require any sewing. So we'll go ahead and watch the video.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Are you seeing it? Yeah? It's not giving us. Let's see. Can you hear anything on this?
No, in the up where you have your screen shared, in the top
Yeah.
right of that, if you click share computer sound, or maybe I can do it from mine. Let me see.
Yes, see if you can do it from yours because it's.
No, it's not letting me. So
Yes.
if you go up to the very top right of the little thing at the top where it is the screen sharing,
Okay, yes.
and then the little drop down menu,
Yes.
share computer sound.
It doesn't offer me that one. It just says chat, pause recording, hide, float. Maybe we could just watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, it has, because I'm not seeing. Sorry, let me start that over for you since I was distracting you. Can you imagine going outside like that? But it's apparently, it's a mask. I'm not laughing at it. I'm just saying, it's an interesting way to head outside, right? Like,
Oh, it's
Listen,
unusual times that we're in. Like that this is something that we're even presenting on is still
right?
feels odd to me.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and then I find myself thinking like, well, how do you accessorize a mask? Like, do you put a hat on? Like, it's very odd. So this one you can see it's just a little bit more complex than the one that we saw from the U.S. Surgeon General. And there's some, you can add that filter in with the paper towel, or there are other people I was seeing who suggest using like a vacuum bag as a filter. So that's an option too. And I think they did a nice job showing how important it is to be conscientious of how you put on and take off the mask so that you don't transfer any germs that are on the mask to your hands and then accidentally touch your face during that process.
True.
Can one of you pop the link to that video into the chat box in case anybody wants to reference it with sound?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And we are glad to share the whole PowerPoint as well.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Just sent
I
it.
didn't hear it with sound on my home computer. I don't know.
Maybe it didn't have one.
I don't know if it does. I don't know if this one has sound or not, but
it's from the New York Times still. Yeah. They've been putting out some good sources during this time. Then here's another one which is more complicated, one that you have to sew. So who has sewing skills? Anyone? No. Oh, Priscilla. Maybe Priscilla will be the one to try this one. Carla, Angel. Any sewing skills? No, me either. All right. So this one is for Priscilla.
This is Mary from Joanne's craft team, here to show you how you can make this mask if you're looking for a way to help your community while you're at home. To make your mask, you will need cotton fabric, lightweight fusible interfacing, 1/4-inch knit elastic, a pencil, scissors, ruler, and piece of paper to make your pattern, and of course basic sewing supplies like a sewing machine, thread, and pin. Okay, to make my pattern, I'm going to start by marking 9 inches along the bottom of my paper. From that 9 inches, I'm going to go ahead and measure up 6. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark this bottom 9-inch edge as being cut on the fold. If you're making these masks out of scraps of fabric and your fabric is less than 12 by 9 inches, you are going to want to go ahead and add an extra 1/4 of an inch along this length here so that you can cut out of 2 pieces of fabric. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use a 1/4-inch seam allowance, so I'm going to mark that as well. This is going to help me mark where my pleats need to be. So there's my 1/4 of an inch seam allowance along that side. And now it's time to start marking my pleats. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line the 1/8 of an inch line up with my 1/4-inch seam allowance line. And this is going to give me the most evenly spaced pleats in the easiest way possible. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark the center points of my pleats. So this is the point that is folded outward. So I'm going to mark at 1.5 inches. Then again at 3 inches. And again at 4.5 inches. These are going to be 1/2 inch pleats, so I'm also going to go ahead and mark with a dashed line where the rest of the fabric for my pleat is going to take up. So I'm going to mark at 1 inch.
Sorry. I did something crazy.
This is Mary from
Was that where it was? No?
Okay, now that I have my finished pattern, it's time to
This?
cut out my fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and place this pattern on the fold of my fabric and go ahead and cut out one. I'll also need to go ahead and cut out the same piece out of my interfacing. So now I have my interfacing applied to the wrong side of my cotton fabric. And I've gone ahead and folded it right sides together in half this way so that I have a 9-inch edge here and 6-inch edge here. Before I start sewing, I'm also going to need to cut 2 pieces of elastic, 7 inches long each. I'm going to go ahead and pin my project. I'm going to sew along this edge first, and I'm going to want to leave a section about 2.5, 3 inches long that is not sewn. So I'm going to mark those first. And I like to put 2 pins together just as a reminder that I'm supposed to do something different there. Okay, let's go take this and sew it. Okay, now that I have my edge sewn here with my open space in the center to turn it right side out, I'm going to go ahead and place my elastic in. So place it in each end and tuck in the corner, just a little bit poking out there, and you can go ahead and pin this into place. And then go ahead, make sure your elastic isn't twisted, and repeat in this top corner. And then again on the other side. Okay, so now that my elastic is pinned into place, I can go ahead and sew across both sides. And I'll want to make sure that I'm back stitching really well across this elastic so it's secure in there. Okay, both ends are securely sewn with my elastic caught inside. So now I can go ahead and turn this right side out. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this over to my ironing board, give it a good press, and tuck in the seam allowance on the part that I'm going to need to shut close. My mask is pressed. It's time to go ahead and mark my pleats using my pattern. So I'm lining up my seam allowance line and my folded line here. And I'm going to go ahead and mark the center of the pleat. I'm also going to go ahead and mark the bottom of each pleat. So in general, I'm going to fold at that center point and then fold again at that bottom point, and that's going to make up my pleat. I'm going to go ahead and pin that into place. I'm going to take this bottom pleat up and then mark it. So from the side here, you're going to want these plates to kind of nest together so that you're not accumulating too much bulk here. And then go ahead and fold that last plate. Everything nests together. So I have 3 plates there in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat on this side. Now that my plates are all marked, I'm going to go ahead and sew around the entire perimeter of my mask. That's going to go ahead and catch those plates and sew them flat, and also close up my opening down here. So now that I've sewn around all sides and removed my pins, I have my finished face mask.
Wow. Priscilla, this one is you. Definitely not me. Oh gosh. So, well, you heard some of this earlier from the video from the New York Times website. However, there are some other steps that are included with some additional tips for wearing your mask that we have combined information from the Centers for Disease Control, that New York Times article, and then the World Health Organization. And the first one is, before putting on your mask, you should wash your hands with soap and water or clean it with an alcohol-based rub. The mask should go from the bridge of your nose to halfway under your chin, right? Interesting. It's hard. Has anyone put on their mask and gone outside as yet? Where did it from? Yes. Oh, Justin did, Priscilla did. I tried going for like a long walk with it. And I was breathing really heavily because, right? So yeah. But they want it from the bridge of your nose to under your chin. And the mask should fit snugly on your face, but not restrict your breathing. Avoid touching the mask while it is on your face. And they said, if you do, you want to wash your hands or do the alcohol-based rub again. Reason being, you don't know what you captured on the mask, right? And as a result, it's good to wash your hands. They also mentioned that wash your hands before removing the mask. And then when removing the mask, avoid touching the cloth portion of the mask, like the sew mask and the different ones. So avoid touching that area at the front of your face. The next thing is use the air loop to remove the mask. And then after removing the mask, wash your hands and don't forget to wash the mask. It's funny because I have 2 masks and I feel like I'm washing often, right? Because you have to wash it each time you go out. So that has been interesting. I'm surprised they haven't told us to boil it. Right? No? No one? Yeah, right? Like, I'm surprised that's not a suggestion as yet. And according to that New York Times article by Parker Pope, one of the other things she pointed out is certain behaviors you should avoid when wearing a mask. Apparently, these are the cool ways to do the mask. You have the holster, which is where you pull the mask down and wear it around your neck instead of over your mouth and nose. And then she mentioned the flapjack, which is removing the mask loop from one ear to speak on the phone. I'm guilty of that one. I can't even pretend. I am so guilty of that one. Then you have the low rider, according to Parker, and it's having the mask on your face, but it only covers your mouth, but not your nostrils. So we have like these different cool ways now of wearing, our improper ways of wearing it, where we can get ourselves in trouble, right? So try to avoid these as much as possible. All right, Krista.
All right. So I don't know how ambitious we all feel. We might be more inclined to do the no-sew ones just so we have several masks at home that we can wear when we're going out. But if we decide to take it to the next level, these are some ideas for that. And there's no pressure. Just be sharing information at this point. But I found this organization and it's called weneedmasks.org, and it's a project of the Sewing and Craft Alliance. And I got to admit, until a few days ago, I didn't know that there was a Sewing and Craft Alliance. And I think it's actually really cool that there is this group of people out there. It's national, might even be international. But Lisanne, do you mind clicking on that link for us so we can go see that website? Not the video, the We Need Masks. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
So it's a very well put together website, and there's a lot of information available for you all to check out. But I think the one thing that just stood out to me was the locations that need masks. So Lisanne, I don't know if you see it. It's
Here?
Yes, exactly. So if you click there, it shows you all these places across our country that have reported any needs for cloth masks. And
wow.
These healthcare professionals, they know that the cloth mask doesn't prevent COVID. Like it's not, but there are people out there who consider themselves to be low risk, and they're willing to wear these at work so that other people can have access to the higher quality mask, which is so heartwarming. But so you can kind of scroll down and see, and some groups need like 25 and some need 500. So that's just something to keep in mind if we decide that we do want to, over the next few weeks, each commit to making 2 or 3 masks to send off. We could probably find a group that needs a small amount since we're a small group, or we could rally, I don't know. But in New Mexico, I think there are several places that need like 20 masks. And then there's a hospital in Alamogordo that needs almost 500. So the needs vary greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made a very important point. The whole idea that it doesn't, it's not that it's going to prevent you from getting it, but the idea we need to do it, but also practice social distancing.
Yes.
That whole idea. Yeah.
The combination.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So if we want to, you're all welcome to kind of explore this website on your own. But if we want to pop back into the slides, I can give a little bit of information on the type of mask that these healthcare professionals are requiring or asking for. They don't really want the t-shirt ones, surprise, surprise. They have specific requirements, and they do require a sewing machine. So in our group, Priscilla might be our hero, or we might decide just to make, the mask for ourselves. But so it does require a sewing machine, and it pretty much follows the same pattern and how-tos that we saw in that Joanne fabric, the Joanne clip. This was put together by a hospital, and I won't show the whole video, but it's about a 9-minute long video that talks about the specific qualifications that the masks that are being collected for donation have to meet. And so you can see it's 2 pieces of material, and those are the dimensions. And then this would be in place of the like to tie behind the head. So I don't know. Do you want to watch the video, or just maybe in our own time we could watch that if we wanted to? Thumbs up for our own time. Okay, so we'll move on to the next slide. And so I thought there are other ways that we can be of service to. I think during times like this, especially highly unusual times, that there can be a lot of anxiety because there's things that we can't control, but there are some things that we can do to help our communities. Wearing a mask is one of them. Also, we can donate blood, and there's a link in the slide to the American Red Cross to set up an appointment. The appointments are now 1 to 2 weeks out. They do that because they can only take a certain amount of people because they need to clean before and after, and they have all of these procedures in place right now. But the good news is that because of people who have been donating, there isn't a shortage right now. There was, and now there's not. So everyone's been doing their part. But they are encouraging people to kind of keep donating as, you know, allowed. Like you can't donate obviously all the time. Justin just donated blood. What?
8 weeks,
It's there. You can donate in 8-week intervals. And then there's also places to donate food. Of course, there's the Aggie Cupboard here. There's Red Runner Food Bank. These are local to Las Cruces. And you probably all know there are lots of people who are needing food right now, especially because the schools are closed and a lot of children were dependent on the meals provided at school. So if you, this is just another way that we can help. And our last slide, well, we have 2 more slides, I suppose, Lisanne. If you're in need of assistance or you know of people who are in your community that are, these are some great links to share with them. Of course, the Aggie Health and Wellness Center and the Aggie Cupboard are good resources. There's counseling services, there's meditations, guided meditations, there's all kinds of things to kind of help support wellness. And then for our state, they've put together this kind of, well, they keep adding things to it, but if you lose your job or you need some financial assistance or help with utilities, that's where you can go to kind of get those processes started as well. So pass along as needed. And I think, Justin, do you want to share our references?
Yes, next slide, please. Here are the references.
So at this point, I think we just want to open it up for conversation and see what your all's thoughts are, like how crafty do we want to get, or I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm just going to jump in really quick since we had some more people join us with a reminder that this is being recorded and it'll be up for our playback on our YouTube playlist. So just so you're aware that it is recorded, and any comments or questions will be. So if you need to message somebody privately or off of the video, you can do that as well.
All right. So do we want to stop the video and then?
Yeah, maybe this is a good time to end the video and then we can give ourselves a chance to brainstorm our next steps.
Well, how about folks who are on? Are you comfortable being recorded going forward, or would you like to pause it for now? Let's do thumbs up for record, thumbs down for pause.
That's fine. I need to charge.
No. Okay.
Okay.
In case there's anything that comes up that's valuable for somebody watching the replay, let's keep going. And if we need to pause it later, we can.
Good. Thank you, Michelle. What are your thoughts?
I wish I had my sewing machine, but it's at home in El Paso, so I can't do anything unless I had a machine. I'll just go down to the fashion department and be like, let me borrow one of those.
It's for a good cause.
Yeah.
I bet they're sewing. I bet they're already sewing masks.
Yeah, well, I know the engineering department, they're 3D printing like face masks for doctors. So they're already doing that. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. I thought it was a good idea. I'm actually in Walmart right now.
Without your mask?
Watching the videos, like right now I'm at the section for like all the cotton and stuff like that, and most of that is sold out. And like even just walking around, like everybody has a mask on and everything. But I was gonna go purchase some materials, but like they're all sold out. And I have to get essentials because I was out of toothpaste and shampoo, lotion.
Oh wow.
Angel, now you can go buy a cheap t-shirt and you can make it with a t-shirt instead of having to buy fabric.
Do they have like maybe bandanas or where you could do the bandana and hair tie one too?
Yeah, I'm in the t-shirts. They're like $1 so I'm gonna buy that instead and do the no sew.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Fancy.
So sorry if like I was like blacked out on the screen. I just like had to come shop real quick.
Yeah. I figured you were moving when I saw the sky earlier. But
Well,
yeah.
I was thinking since we don't have sewing machines, that maybe we can just, if we do want to help out and contribute somehow, maybe we can make them for like students or residents just to take. So they may not be like hospital standards, but at least we'll be helping people spread it here on campus.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, they can even like order in like the materials we need to make it, so the RDs don't have to shop for it. That would be nice.
I wonder if we could find any like promo t-shirts that are outdated that we could use. I don't know. Michelle's nodding her head. I bet there are some promo t-shirts from like past events that we might be able to use that have Aggie spirit, right? That are still.
That's a great idea.
We still have a pile of t-shirts somewhere that say Monocle Hall on them. So we could have vintage Monocle masks.
Oh, that sounds good. So maybe we can, how would we want to like collect or display, or any thoughts about what to do with them once we've made them? I don't know.
Emails or posting. The RAs have like little group me's. So we could post on those pages, like we have these available. They'll be at these locations, or if you want one, let us know. We can drop it on your doorstep. I don't know, like to prevent the contact or whatnot.
Yeah, we could leave them like maybe in the lobbies that are open to residents, or the down south they have that. I forgot what it's called.
And we can put them in baggies, like Ziploc baggies, to keep them sanitary.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds good. What are your thoughts, Lisanne?
I agree. Sounds like a plan, right? To be able to do it and then share.
Yeah, sounds great. So what do you all think? Like, would you like to meet again like next week at this time and just kind of show the masks that we've made and talk about our plans for dropping them off? Or do you think that we've had enough sharing and we could probably just, I don't know, like I kind of want to see the masks that you make. Everyone's so creative. Like, I think it might be fun, but I don't know what your schedules are like or how busy everybody is. I don't want to add another. If it would be fun, then it would be fun for us, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I could probably like fit in like my schedule. Probably on the weekends I can make a few. But like, would the supplies be like provided, or like we would have to like go out and get some?
What do you think, Michelle? Is there a way that we could distribute those t-shirts, or how would we get it?
Let me look into it to see if somebody can get to those. Obviously we're trying to keep our programs pretty affordable right now with the uncertainty of everything that's going on. But I can see what our options are in terms of what we have on hand. In fact, let me grab my phone. I will send a text right now so I don't forget.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like I can tell the RAs that are still here about it, and they'd want to help as well. I'm pretty sure we could get more people.
What about the wellness center on campus?
That might be a good.
Is that still open?
They are still open. I don't know. I haven't called them or anything to see. I know a lot of their stuff has gone online, but I know the Aggie cupboard is still operating. Their next pickup is the next available time for people to get food is April 28th. So they're doing pickups every week.
That would be a good place too.
That's what I was thinking. Like we could take masks there and they could hand them out while they're handing out the food.
Definitely.
So are you leaning towards the t-shirt one? It seems like a nice middle of the road, or the bandana one? I think those are
I'll probably cut the t-shirt in squares and then do the bandana looking one. The t-shirt.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. I know.
Right?
I think when you put it on and there's like the little thing up there, it's a little like, well, I don't know.
So I think my skills would probably be more for that, the doing some squares and then maybe some rubber bands, putting rubber bands on it and putting it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably good. And especially if we're making them for other people, I feel like that one might be more like other people might appreciate that one more. I don't know.
Do we have any bandanas laying around that no one used, Michelle? No?
I don't know about bandanas, except I wonder if RHA has old humans versus zombies bandanas.
Mm.
Let me add that to my message. Hold on.
That's an interesting message to add to the face mask. Like, I'm a human. This virus is a zombie, or I don't know. I could get myself into trouble exploring that idea.
Would we put it in there with two rubber bands, or two rubber bands, and then maybe like a little instruction thing?
Yeah.
That says, how to fold it, and yeah.
I think so. So I think what we would ultimately be putting together would be like a square of material, whether we're cutting t-shirts for that or if we have those bandanas that we could reuse, and then rubber bands or hair ties in a Ziploc bag with little instructions on how to put it together, and maybe a link to the video.
Maybe a link to the video would be best.
Or
yeah. Maybe a link to the video, how to put together your face mask with 2 hair ties and a bandana, right? I think that would probably be,
would work.
Yeah. That sounds cool. In a little, no?
Yeah, I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
So depending on how you want to be, but they sell like the long rolls of the filter at Walmart for like $17, and then you can just cut strips. So if you give them like 2 pieces of material and then 1 piece of the filter in between, so that way it will actually like medically protect you from spreading it to other people, then I mean, that could be a possibility, but I mean, that would cost more money.
Right.
But for you to do at home, like if you wanted to make them for your kids, you could just do, or for yourself, of course, but just do like a layer of the material, just cut out a piece of the filter. And then you can even cut pieces of the filter and carry them around you in a, like a Ziploc baggie. So if you feel the need to exchange them out, like I'll be traveling in 2 weeks. So this is what I'm actually going to be doing. And then, so I'm just going to keep exchanging them out with my kids. So that way I feel a little bit better, that they feel more protected. And then I'm going to bring but I like that, the making them your own. So that way it'll be quicker. Just do it real quick and then just put them on them.
That's a great idea. All right, well, it sounds like we have a plan. We're just going to wait and kind of feel out what supplies are available. And then, so do you all want to meet next week at this time and actually do crafting, like actually cut and make the baggies together? Or does that sound good? Or would you rather meet on a weekend? Would that Bit better? Doesn't matter.
Probably doesn't matter.
Okay. Lucian, what works for you?
I'm fine with Tuesdays.
Want to just keep it same time, same place
Same time, same place.
next week, and we'll get together. And so in the meantime, Lucian and I will follow up with Michelle and Justin. Justin and I will follow up with Michelle about what supplies we can get donated or possibly reuse. And then we'll find a way to get those to you all before Tuesday. Yeah? What do you think, Michelle? Does that seem realistic?
Yeah, let me find out what there is. And I will also make sure that we get the next link into Presence. So if somebody isn't here today, they'll have the link to be able to find us next week.
Okay. Yeah, and then just chat up with all the other RAs or people who you think might be interested in helping out, and let us know so we can get them supplies too. If it turns out that there's more interest, then yeah.
That sounds great.
Sound good? Cool, we've got a plan. Yay! Oh, and then I wanna see pictures of everybody wearing them.
Okay. If I can get my hands on a needle and thread, maybe I can sew some.
And you might try Googling to see too if there's a way to hand sew.
Yeah.
I'll look
Yeah,
too. And
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
yeah,
It just probably won't be as strong, but it'll work.
it'll work. I think those kinds of things would definitely work for like our use. I just don't know if it would. I don't know if we'd want to donate them to a hospital. I feel
They'll look at it and go, it's a thought that counts.
Yeah.
Listen. Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you coming and being a part of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you
Bye,
next
Laura.
week.
Bye, Angel. Bye, Michelle. Bye, Krista and Justin.
Bye.
Everyone, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.